it has been a wonderful feeling to be celebrating 10 years in fashion, 10 years in business, 10 years of living my dream. I just want to thank you all with all of my heart. Thank you for all of your love, all of your support. Over the last 10 years, I have had some major setups and I've had some major setbacks, but through it all, I have been blessed. Through it all, I have developed an incredible network. I have met and worked with so many great people. I have built friendships that's like family, and my client list have grown tremendously. I still have cards and emails and gifts that I hold so close to me. It really does keep me encouraged. And I just want to say thank you to those who have, really invested in me, believes in my vision, those who have purchased tickets of any kind, fashion shows, events, if you got booked with photography, if you signed on as models, people on my team, my staff, everybody, all the way to sponsors, models that have presented me with gifts and awards at the end of the show. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm about to share some of my experiences with you, and I'm definitely not ashamed of where I came from. You think you know, but you have no idea. This is my digital diary part 1. I love producing fashion shows. Fashion shows get my adrenaline pumping. I get hired to produce shows for clients, and I absolutely love it. One day I'm going to produce shows all around the world, all around the country. I've done 10 states so far, and I'm excited to be moving forward. Some of my clients only want straight runway, which is awesome. It's very traditional. Others want the creativity, the entertainment. And I love to do them all. I know with producing fashion shows through Signature Inc., there's no limit to the creativity, to the choreography, to the entertainment. Is no limit. We just tear the roof off. Signature Inc. shows are like fashion concerts, and my vision is so huge. Even when I first started with, Signature Inc., I always thought of my fashion shows to be like a concert feel, and I was able to live some of that dream last year. We did a show at the Du Burns Arena, but I can see it going much, much, much bigger. You might see models coming out of the ceiling. I don't know, but it's definitely going to happen one day. I love it when someone is working the outfit. You can get more buyer attention that way. Or having a runway collection that focuses on a certain item, like shoes. Somebody could do maybe a couture pose, showing a little leg, showing a little boots, and really be able to sell. It gets you to relate to that person wearing it, and you may get a sale with that. Couture poses remind you of editorial and photo shoots, but on the runway. So it gives you a different look for entertainment. It definitely catches the audience eye. And some of the things that we did before is we did band looks where models were on the stage and it looked like they were doing band, but they were doing choreography. We had mini-me's where we had adult models and kid models walking down the runway. We even did a ballerina scene where it was kind of like, we're going to salute you, but we have on our tutu at the same time. I loved it. All the Signature Inc. shows have a storyline. Some people pay attention to it and some people don't, but that's part of me that I bring out to the Signature Inc. fashion shows, the themes that we come up with from the beginning to the end. It's a storyline. You have to pay attention. I have even included pregnant women, full-figured women, and they definitely do their thing on the runway. And we included them to be a part. It was absolutely great. You think you know, but you have no idea. One of my favorite entertainment scenes was choreographed. I choreographed that in 2009. It was called the makeup scene. I love the energy, just the theatrical part of it. Take a look. Hush, eyeliner. Hush, see what you made me do. Face, mascara, erase. I wanna look good for you. as I look back over the last 10 years, some of this stuff I say, what was I thinking? But you never knew what was going to come to the stage for entertainment. You never knew what I was going to do. But we did some crazy stuff and we did some cute stuff. We did stuff like bring puppies out on the runway, give them, an opportunity to shine. Cute, right? I thought so. Remember when the Matrix was out? Yeah, we did a little scene with the Matrix going on the runway. How about roller skates? Now, where have you seen roller skates on the runway only with Signature Ink? We've had boxing glove. I know at one time we were swinging somebody's body as if they were a jump rope. Just crazy stuff. Even crazier, like breaking glass on the runway to go with a concept that we were doing. I remember having a bride and groom raised out of a coffin. Now, don't ask me what I was thinking about that one, because sometimes I look back on that and I say, no, what in the world? Why did I come up with that concept? But my team was always there. The models was like, okay, you crazy, but let's do it. And it was really for entertainment purposes, and people had a ball. They were acting like crazy people on the stage. Like, really, just check it out. That was crazy, right? Now, another show I ended up doing was straight runway, bride and groom, very decent walking down the runway. Back then, I was able to be in my own shows, and now I just love the production and behind stage is just so much crazy stuff going on that I need to just be the producer. At one point, I even brought out salsa dancing to the runway. It was so much fun. We had an incredible time just rehearsing for it. Like, I really thought I was a salsa dancer afterwards. Check it out. I really want to get you high tonight. Come on, you tell me what I gotta Most of all, I love the creativity behind it all. Like, my mind kind of started clicking and going somewhere else. I remember having smoke as part of the set design. Not your typical traditional smoke machine, but like we set up like the big dry ice. You had the smoke coming out. It was really nice, really crazy stuff going on. We actually did really unique shaped runways. We've done the X before. We've done a shape of a fork before. Talk about transitioning things to fashion shows. I had a fashion show in an actual barn before. When you walk in, it gave you that barn feel, but we were actually in a barn and we transferred that thing as a fashion show production. I've transformed a hotel lobby into this big, huge production. You know, people would come into the hotel and just be like, wow, you would think that you were actually under a tent in New York Fashion Week somewhere. You would have thought that, you know, where's these things coming from? How are we doing it here? But through Signature Ink, we were able to execute it all, and we had a ball. Right before I started my business, I had to choose between being in a singing group, traveling around, we had just finished our demo, or starting a business in fashion. That was one of the hardest, toughest decisions of my life. It had gotten to the point that I was in the studio, laying down tracks, writing songs, all hours of the night. I was working, I was going to school, but then on the other side, I was doing makeup, I was doing fashion shows, I was helping people put together productions, and I knew that part of my life and part of my purpose was to help people. I just didn't know how was I going to help people? What was I supposed to do to help people? I didn't know if it was through my voice and the lyrics that I was writing. I didn't know if it was supposed to be image and training people how to walk or helping people feel good about themselves and build confidence from the inside out. So many people asked me for help in the fashion industry, and I loved it every single time that I helped them. There was a certain feeling inside of me that I can't even really describe, that, you know, that passion, everything that was just coming out every time I was able to help people in the fashion industry. March of 2002, I had made up my mind. I opened up Signature Inc., which is a fashion company that has models, makeup artists, photography, styling, and of course, fashion show production. I wasn't looking for the approval from anyone. I loved what I do. I'm in love with what I do. I can't imagine doing anything else. I have a lot going on, but that's my life. I don't care about the nonsense. I challenge myself now just as I did back then. You know, people often ask me, well, what about your competition? Do you worry about your competition? And the answer is no. There is no competition. I'm my own competition, literally. Just challenging myself and what I've done from the past and what I can do better this time. I'm very grateful for where I am, what I've been through. I truly thank God for just always being faithful to me. I remember in 2 of my fashion shows, like I was so overwhelmed with the amazing things that were going on in my life, the amazing things that God was doing inside of me, that I felt like I was going to fall to my knees to give him praise and worship.
And I went and I got the surgery done last Wednesday. So when I went to the doctors, they did some cleaning, and what they did was they pulled this gauze out of my ear. And as they was pulling the gauze out, I just began to hear the sound very clearly. And I was like, I didn't know that was in my ear. So what they said was, when I had surgery done, they put the gauze all the way up there in my ear because it was part of the healing process, but I had no clue. But God said you won't be healed by this fashion show. On yesterday, it's when they actually took everything out of my ear, took the bandages off and everything, and guess what? I can hear today. And this was just yesterday. So walking out that doctor's office, I just cried for like an hour. I just couldn't even get myself together because God is so good. And I have to just share my testimony today because it took me through a lot. I'm talking 4 years.
Huge shout out to my mother. She is my right hand. She is everything somebody would want in a mother. I had her come out on stage before just so I can tell her publicly how much I love her and how much I appreciate her. Hugs and kisses to all my models, all of my staff from the past to the present. I love you all. We have had so much fun together. I gave out Soldier Awards back in 2007. I have even more soldiers now, models that just always have my back, always supporting me, always keeping my arms lifted. And as long as my arms are lifted, we got the victory. There's so many priceless memories from practicing in people's living rooms and basements and parking lots and alleys, and the list goes on and on. Sometimes trying to surprise me doesn't work, but other times it do. I remember coming out at the runway at the end of the show, and all these roses was being thrown at me as I was walking. And I was saying to myself, was that a rose that just came across my face? And you know, at that particular time, I'm so focused and I'm walking, and I didn't know what was going on. But then later on, I'm like, somebody or bodies was throwing roses, and all of the models were just like congratulating me and throwing all these dozens of roses on the stage. Also, I want to give a big shout out to my precious little daughter. I love you, Brisela, so much. She was on the runway before she was born. She was on the runway 5 months after she was born. I brought her out in a sack, but she was hitting the stage. So I brought her out to kind of introduce her to the fashion industry. This is Brisela. I'm just so happy to introduce you all to Brisela. She was born on June the 20th, and I just wanted her to say hi. So say hi to Brisela. Last year, she was walking, so we hit the stage together in all white. And Brisela, I just absolutely love you. That's my heartbeat. I have accomplished a tremendous amount of things over the years, just countless. Signature Inc. Kids went from Signature Inc. Kids to girlsglam.com, which is a fashion program for kids and teens. We have launched a magazine last year. It was just absolutely phenomenal. At my 5th year anniversary show, that's when it clicked. This needs to be a separate business for kids. They were like pouring in so much that I wanted to make sure that I was able to develop a curriculum and something that will really keep their interest. And right now, today, it is going wonderful. And I'm so glad that I did, because we launched a magazine last year. We're doing fashion shows. They're getting picked for different casting calls. And, the parents are great. And we all just really have a good time. And these girls, they just keep me touched. I went into radio last year. My show is called Fashion Talk Radio, and that was very interesting for me because I was able to meet people that I've never talked to before. People were calling into the radio just saying how much the show was a blessing for them. We were talking fashion in all different walks and all different lights, and that was major for me to go into radio last year. Outside of producing shows and running my businesses, I have leaped into acting this year. So it's not only just I'm celebrating 10 years in fashion, but now I'm going into acting. I'm going to be playing in a movie called One Song, which is going to release this spring. And I'm also going to be in a play that's coming out this June. It will be interesting to see myself on the big screen and on stage in a different light. So I'm very excited about seeing a final product. Throughout the rest of the year, I will be sharing more of my digital diary, opening up to you, sharing with you what I've been through and my life experiences over the last 10 years, and just in celebration of my 10th year anniversary. You're going to get familiar with me and some of the people that I've impacted and some of the people that really have impacted me over the last 10 years. Also, I'm going to release more footage leading up to our anniversary fashion show. Some other things you can expect soon are training videos and workbooks for models. We get a lot of requests coming in of people asking for those types of things, and I'm not able to reach out to so many people that we start to get in from across the world, just sending us information and wanting to be a part. So those training videos will be able to meet you at your home. We also have gotten requests for soundtracks. People say, your fashion shows, you need to sell the soundtrack at the end. I be finding the craziest music and putting it all together. So that's going to be coming out really soon too. This is how you can stay in the loop with the fashion industry and what's going on with Thee Danielle Baker. You can follow me on Twitter. You can become a friend on Facebook, or you can get very familiar by going to my website at TheeDanielleBaker.com. Again, thank you so much and stay fashionable.